there is this term limit conversation going on in the country for our elected leaders. This is only for the purpose of testing the waters. The real term limit change will come in 2029 or 2030, when the current president will be at the tail end of his second term. That is if he wins the bid that is going to put in 2027. The first person to propose a term limit change was the Fafi Member of Parliament, Honorable Salah. For him, he was proposing the age limit to be pushed to 75 years, so that anybody, when you are still below 75 years, you are not bound to with time limits. You can proceed, just still continuing to vie until when you are over 75 years. That was also for the purpose of testing the waters. And they have seen the reaction of Kenyans. People are opposed to it, and people don't want such kind of arrangement. In fact, many people are asking for the reduction of the term limit. Of course, we know the president has come out clearly to say that he does not support anything to do with the constitutional change to extend term limits.
The discussion on changing the constitution for parochial, selfish, personal matters is no space to go. I will not participate in mutilating the constitution for purposes of serving selfish, personal, parochial interests. I will be at the front to say no to any change of the constitution, to change term limit, to change things that benefit individuals. That is unnecessary. That is uncalled for, and it is an exercise in futility, because it will not happen under my watch.
But that is just for the time being. When the time will be right or ripe for him to support it, he will come out and support it. And that will come in 2029, 2030. Look at the choice of the person pushing that agenda, the Nandi Senator, Honorable Cherargei. This is the president's man, the president's buddy. Although of late, he has been presented as somebody who is independent-minded, who is falling out with the regime. Even recently, when there was that bill in Parliament to impeach the former DP Gachagua, he voted to save Gachagua, even though he knew very well it was the president's wish for the bill to pass. But he was trying to come out as somebody who was executing his own mind and oppose that bill. Currently, the public participation, the public mind gathering that has happened, and even the petition that was opened for people to present papers to the Senate, Kenyans have rejected the idea of term extension, limit extension. And I'm sure even when the matter goes to the Senate, they will present it as it is, that Kenyans have refused. But when the time will come for the matter to be executed in 2030, it will pass. Even if Kenyans will oppose it, You know, this public participation thing sometimes is just like the Mlolongo voting, where the person with the shortest line can be declared as the winner in the full glare of everybody. You know, when the time will come that it is now supposed to be pushed, they will push it regardless. Let me ask you a question. If you are given a job to do in 7 hours and another one to do in 5 hours or 4 hours, which one will bring the efficiency in you? Hmm? Which one will make you work quickly to achieve the goal? Is it the one for 7 hours or the one for 5 hours? You know, extension of term limits will not bring out the efficiency in leaders. It will only bring the complacency. You just say, after all, I have 7 years to work. So you just relax and do things slowly. And when you are in your second term and you know that you still have 7 years, you just sit down and rest and do your things, chew money and steal some money also. The reason why leaders during campaigns will say that in the next 100 days, I'll have done this and this and this. In the next 100 days, it's because they usually know that when you just go there and you have something to target on in a limited period of time, you will execute it. Is what usually motivates them to give themselves those kind of timelines so that they go there and focus to achieve it. But when you give somebody all the time in the world, there's nothing they're going to rush to achieve. In the US, for example, there's been this discussion about term limit, but all the people who have come with proposals have always come with proposals to reduce it to lesser years. Currently, it's 4 years. But the prominence of the mean modification of the term limits are only those who are seeing it to be reviewed downwards, not upwards. In the UK, there's no time limit for the prime minister. But you have the prime minister must make sure that he's always getting the support of the nation and the House of Commons all the time. So you must always ensure that the policies that you are bringing to the country, they support it and they see it as working. If you are efficient with the policies you bring and the things that you do for the country, you can stay there for a long time, so long as your party supports you and you have the support of the House of Commons. Recently, of late, there's no time. The Prime Minister can call elections for the House of Commons anytime with the approval of the Queen or the King. I don't know, the monarch thing in the US, in the UK. But you must always ensure that you are working, you are achieving things that you had promised or that you are seen to be putting forward. Theresa May served from 2016 to 2019. Those are 3 years. Her successor, Boris Johnson, served from 2019 to 2022. Those are also 3 years. The person who succeeded Boris was Liz Truss. For her, she only served for 7 weeks. and resigned by herself when she realized that she was not achieving the goals that she had set out to achieve. She had to just bow out by herself without having to be pushed out. Then the current Prime Minister took over, Sunak. And those are democracies where you can resign by yourself when you feel that this thing I'm not achieving, let me let somebody else to come and do it. But if you allow long periods, long-term limits for leaders like the ones in Africa, we are doing ourselves a disservice. They will go there, relax, and buy time, because after all, you have given them all the time they need to be in office. So I want to warn Kenyans that you should not accept this, even though I know it's a long scheme for the president to stay in power for up to 24 years. Because when you pass that, when that limits come into, it is passing to be now start being implemented in 2030, a discussion will pop up again that is going to start applying afresh for everybody. So the president who will have served his 2 terms, his 10 years, his 10 years, will say that, okay, it's going to apply afresh for everybody. And he's going to vie. He's not going to be blocked from vying that he has already finished his 10-year term. No. He'll start vying with the constitution afresh and start serving his first 7-year term. And being in power, he'll know just ways of making sure that he's winning the 2 terms again, 14 years plus 10, that is 24 years. And that is the initial plan that the president has. He is planning to be in office for 24 years, just like the former president Moi served for 24 years. President Ruto is a very good schemer. For him to become president in 2022, he started scheming when President Uhuru was serving his first term. That is when he started scheming to win the 2022 elections. And right now, he considers 2027 election sealed because he has already planned for it up to 2027. He knows the things that he will do to see him win in 2027. That's why even falling out with Gachagua does not scare him. He knows the plans that he has put already so that he can win the 2027 elections. He's a schemer. And even now the scheme for 2032 is the one that you are seeing of term limit extensions. And if it works, it's going to be there up to 24 years. That is his plan A. But of course, he has also plan B. If the term limit extension does not work, he's going to be working on his succession plans, and the person who will succeed him, he will be the one to propose, even if it's silently, or if he will come out to support openly. Well, if you like this kind of discussions, this kind of topics, consider subscribing so that the subsequent videos that we're going to publish do not go without your attention. Thank you. See you in the next video.